Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Another day of triathlon training, and today is a ride out to the Peak District. Now, I haven't started very early this morning, which isn't a surprise for me, you guys know. However, I'm still going to get a decent ride in. It was quite rainy first thing, and the clocks have gone forward, so a bit more sleep, a bit of a later start, ticking a lot of boxes all around. I'm going to do the club ride route, which should be about 4 hours or so, 60 miles, 4,500 feet of climbing. And I'm riding it, not easy but not hard, somewhere sort of like mid-zone 2, but I'm pressing on up to tempo up some of the climbs just to get a good workout in. I'm feeling pretty good on the bike at the minute. I feel like if I'm spinning the plates of swim, bike, run, biking's going okay, swimming and running are just beginning to wobble a bit, but we'll see. Anyway, hoping it's going to stay dry, and I'll get a run done off the bike as well. There we go, committed to it, run off the bike. Oh, let's get a bit further around. Okay, so I'm now 2 hours and 14 minutes in, 35 miles, normalised power 249 watts. I'm feeling pretty good at the minute. I've stopped for several reasons. First of all, to update on where my training's at and where events are coming up. So 4 weeks yesterday, the Dirty Reaver 200km gravel ride / race is happening. I still haven't ridden my gravel bike. I was going to go out on it today, but, and I've said this statement for the last few weeks, and the butt's just been different, I hadn't got around to putting road tyres on it, and I'm not going out in the mud getting absolutely caked in it in the Peak District while the weather's been so wet. When it's dry, hopefully in a few weeks, I'll get out on it, but I do need to ride that bike. So next weekend I will have road tyres on it and I'll do a road ride on it, and then maybe I'll do a gravel ride before Dirty Reaver or not. I don't know. I don't think riding the gravel there is like a completely different discipline that I'm going to be out of my depth doing. I've done cross, I've done mountain bikes, like I've rode bikes for years. I think I'll be okay, I think. Anyway, so I'm not panicking, so don't make me panic, please. Other reasons to stop to tell you about. Right, so 4 weeks is Dirty Reaver. 3 weeks after that is Xterra UK, which is a mountain bike triathlon. That's not really a main aim at all. I will train up to and including that. And then the week after that, so 4 weeks after Dirty Reaver, is Outlaw Half Nottingham. Now, this isn't a main aim for the year, but that's probably the first like event where I will taper into and I want to do my best. I last completed the event in 2019 and I would love to do a PB. I'm not sure if it's possible, but I'm going to give it a damn good go. I did 4:39 in 2019, so if I can be anywhere around there, I know weather dependent, I'll be very, very happy. Now, a few things that I am testing at the minute. Currently testing, I'll probably show you, this is completely clear, some OTE super carbs. The reason for that is because a Dirty Reaver is supported by OTE, so when you stop at the aid stations, you'll be picking up their fluids. You can get 80 grams of carbs in a bottle, so it makes sense to test it today rather than testing it on an event. You wouldn't want to try anything new on an event, would you? I've got a normal bottle of my normal full steam carb mix as well, just in case I didn't like it. But actually, it tastes really smooth and it doesn't taste very strong. So the fact that it's got so many carbs in it in a bottle is pretty encouraging. Now, fast forward to other events such as Outlaw, they are sponsored by High Five. So I will also have, which I've got at home, some High Five, and I'll just make sure that I can just get on with those things. It's not always possible to fuel yourself fully for an event. For a middle distance try, maybe I can, but sometimes it doesn't make sense. If there's an aid station on the bike on a hill, why would you carry an extra bottle when you can pick one up there that doesn't slow you down? You're not carrying that extra 750 grams or whatever. So yeah, worthwhile thinking about. Another reason why I've stopped right now is because my Di2 has died. It's not fully dead. I've lost the front mech and I've shifted a few times in the rear. So for those that have got Di2, you know that the front mech takes more power to change than the rear does. So when your front mech dies, you've got a few changes in the rear. How many that is, I don't know. I'm currently at the furthest point away on the ride. I'm 35 miles in, it's like a loop, so I'm just about near the top. However, it is a tailwind home. But that's not necessarily good because it's faster on the way home and I'm stuck in the little ring. Now I've chosen that gear, which is the, what's that, the ninth gear. That's gonna have to be okay. I'll have to knock it down if I really have to up a few hills, but I've got no phone signal here either. I'm gonna turn around and I'll just go back through Chatsworth, back down towards like Matlock, down the A6, and that should be okay, but that'll be annoying to be stuck in a little ring down there, but there are a few hills that I need to get over. I'm not going to continue on the route because there are a fair few more climbs, and I've had enough punishment already, so I'm also not gonna ring Liz, so Liz, count yourself lucky. Anyway, let's get back home. Okay, so I'm back home now. Now, whenever I do any racing or training, I always try and focus on the positives. I know there's areas I need to work on, but I do this for enjoyment, like lots of us do. So I always try and focus on the positives. And there are lots of positives from today. Getting out for a bike ride, being able to go out cycling, being able to have a bike, all those sorts of things I do not want to take for granted. Slightly marred though, however, by that last hour and a bit when I was stuck in one gear. That was not pleasant. It was quite a fast road on the way back, but of course it wasn't fast because I could hardly touch the gear. When I was pedaling, it was a really high cadence, so it was like uncomfortable on the saddle, bouncing around. And then when I did come to any hills, it was a massive grind trying to get up the hills. So my legs felt pretty smashed when I got home, to be honest. I'll leave the stats on screen, sort of 3 hours 40, normalised about 250 watts, but the easy bits were far too easy and the hard bits was far too hard, stupidly low cadence. So that was not a very pleasant end to the ride. The bike is now clean and on charge upstairs. I do check the battery level of the Di2 regularly, so it must have been from the car journeys the last couple of days. It must have been pressing on a shifter or something, who knows. And I'm not running today now because my legs are feeling it a little bit and I've got a whole week ahead, so I will not be doing that. But that is a good week's training. Just look at my training stats for the whole week now. I've done 13.5 hours of training stress score of 891. That is a good week. 10 hours on the bike, only 2.5 hours of running, but 2 swims totaling 1.5 hours. So that is an okay triathlon training week for me. I'm pretty happy with that. Just need to bump the running up a little bit and maybe add a 3rd swim in the next couple of weeks. But we can't do it all, can we? So I'm going to end today's video there. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below. Please feel free to tell me to go back to mechanical gears because I'm sure they would never fail. And I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for some proper triathlon training.